Three reasons why a squeeze is on the horizon for Bionano. Number one, there's no resistance until $8. Current price is like $7.24. That's where we close at. Number two, short interest keeps rising. Days to cover is rising, and short share availability is low. Number three, Wall Street bets. If they come to our side and rally to our cause, it is absolutely over. It is going to squeeze. It's gonna go to $10, $15, $20. It's gonna happen, no doubt. Now, right now, Wall Street bet chances of that actually happening, I think they're pretty low. I'm gonna be honest with you, but there's still a realistic chance that it could happen. And even without Wall Street bets, right, there's still a squeeze on the horizon. And we're going to go over the details and why I know this and my sources and everything. Looking at the charts here, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that, hey, maybe this run-up has been because the shorts, it's been such a high short interest, 13% shares outstanding, it's 13% short interest of the shares outstanding. What's to say that a lot of this run-up isn't because of the shorts covering? Well, it is not because of that. We know that for a fact because the short interest has consistently increased, right? If we look down here, the settlement day, right, it just keeps increasing. Just look at the short interest of the flow, right? It just since the end of April, it just 15%, 17%. Now we're at 20% of the float that has been sold short. 13% short interest of the shares outstanding according to Fintel, right? But this, look at this, okay? The days to cover has gone up as well. That's another key point. But the settlement date of this publication, day the 25th, was on the 14th of May, right? We're into June now. This is a little bit outdated. So what is the new short interest? Well, thanks to a legend on the Discord, Bad Form. Thank you so much, my friend. We now know that it is much higher. The estimated short interest, right, according to Ortex data here, right? So this is updated, right? Live updates, okay? Now, of course, he took a picture and sent it to me. That's how we know it now. But this is from Friday. 42 million estimated short interest. Well, if we compare that to what this was, 36 million. So there you go. About 6 million more shares have been sold short and not yet covered since the settlement date, since May 14th. It's as simple as it gets. Shorts are just increasing. There's more short shares that have been lent out. The short share availability is down. The days to cover has risen. The failure to delivers and the dark pool data suggests more manipulation chances, more evidence for it. And even if you don't want to do the whole manipulation thing, that's not what this video is about. I mean, a little bit about it, but it is more about the shorts that just haven't covered. It's legal shorting. It's fine that they're shorting, right? But it makes the squeeze opportunity right for the taking for us. That is why it's so important, right? If we look at the short share availability data here, since the close, right, it's only 250,000 shares available to short. That means that every freaking short in the game, almost all of them, right, they are all holding on for dear life. They think they're going to push this down and they're going to be able to cover. If we can hold where we are now or continue to go higher, this could get parabolic. I really think it could. And you may be saying, Brandon, come on, you're being unrealistic. No, I'm really not. I'm really not. And here's why. The short interest is high. It just is. There's no doubt the short interest is high. It's 13%. If you want to be most conservative, it's 13%. And it's actually higher than that, right? Because it actually, according to Ortex at least, it's now 42 million, which is going to be, I don't know, what, 15, 16%? Those guys, a lot of them are going to have to cover. And guess what? Since the days to cover just increased from from the high ones to low twos, now at 3.32 as of the 4th of June, as of freaking Friday, last trading day, according to Fintel.io. It is increased by almost double. Why does that matter? The higher the days to cover, the harder for the shorts to cover their positions, elongating and making the squeeze more parabolic and more immense. It's going to be big if it happens. You're going to know it. It's going to be like that. Most likely, it's going to be a quick one. It's going to be a short squeeze up to freaking $10, maybe less than that. But $10 is certainly, best case scenario, the markets go green this week, and high growth does well, and Bionano closes and opens the day up tomorrow above 725 and closes above there. It's just going to be going up the whole rest of the week. We're going to hit $8. If we break that, the next resistance is going to be $10, and we're maybe going to get into double-digit territory. That's the best case. That is contingent on a lot of things. If the shorts were to cover, let's say they were to cover, they were to get burned, right? What's to stop them from just doubling down? And well, not doubling down, well, kind of, but just, covering and just buying back new short positions. What's to stop them from doing that, right? One thing that could stop them is the tenacity and viciousness of the bulls, man. And I'm not talking about making fun of bears and making them feel bad. I'm talking about the price action and the strength and the company's fundamentals and our kind of sentiment with it. We gotta hold. That's the kind of the key here. Now, of course, with a community as little as ours, it's going to have a little difference. But still, if the Bionano people, if the Fellowship of the Sapphire and Bionano holders and institutions can hold through, this can be, I mark my words, this can be a huge squeeze. Okay, just look at BlackBerry. Wall Street Bets is trying to squeeze BlackBerry. It has like less than a 10% short interest. Bionano has like 15% now. 15%, 20% of the float, according to Fintel, right? It is high. It is much higher. So it is definitely on the table. Throw in the fact that Bionano doesn't have a resistance until $8. Throw in the fact that we have the most bullish short-term technical chart pattern and the indicators that we've ever had in a long time. The fact that we only have broken this descending level of resistance once since the start of the breakdown and the downtrend. We broke that now and confirmed the breakout. What's going to happen next? What do you think? All the signs are pointing to a good week if the markets do us any favors. Of course, if the markets gap down next week, it could get bad. It could get very bad, all right? But the data is the data, man. You're looking at the exact same I am. I mean, look at this. Days cover is going up. Short interest has gone from 36 million to 41, almost 42 million according to Ortex. It's as simple as it gets. You can't make it up, man. I'm telling you the facts. A spade is a spade. A short squeeze is on the horizon. I don't know if it's going to effectuate, but the possibility and opportunity is there for us, and it's ripe for the taking. What is the likelihood of this? Well, it's going to largely depend on how Wall Street Bet does, how our posts on Wall Street Bets do. Right now, they're doing okay, but they're not doing nearly enough. They're not doing nearly good enough for us to actually see, like, and actually for me to actually be able to predict Wall Street Bets and the boys and the apes helping us. I don't think that's likely to happen with only 300 upvotes on our post. I do think people will wake up eventually. I do think people will realize the short interest is high. We're fundamentally undervalued. Manipulation has happened and is happening right now, mate. It's happening. I mean, once people realize this stuff and once they actually understand the tech, yes, we're going to squeeze. Yes, it's a matter of time. The shorts, we're going to burn them. They're going to get burned, okay? They've been getting burned, and we could burn them again. And it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad for next week at all. So with that being said, I will look at the technicals now. If we look at that 4-hourly, right, we obviously closed the after hours up about 4 or 5%. We closed at 714. We closed getting rejected a little bit, kind of, not really, at the decent level, at the horizontal level, rectangular resistance, right? If we can break that and clear that next week, tomorrow, in the pre-market tomorrow, it could get parabolic. I really think it could, and here are some reasons why, and you already have heard some with the short interest. We are going to be getting a golden cross with the 55-day MA and the 200-day EMA on the 4-hourly, right? I've talked about this several times, and it's going to be big. This is the second most important golden cross, in my opinion, right? Let's say it goes something like this, right? Boom. There you go. Golden cross, bullish momentum represented right there by that crossing of those two moving averages represents a bullish momentum for the stock, or at least that's what they typically do. That's going to be great. If we can continue to go higher, it's just going to get more aggressive. These moving averages are just going to be moving up even higher, right? I want to look at the daily, though. I want to look at the daily Supertrend and SAR, right? We have bullish reversal signs everywhere, okay? We already had the Supertrend, we had the SAR, we had the 4-hourly, we have absolutely everything you could want. From a price action perspective, though, on the 4-hourly, right, you do kind of see, we are kind of overextended, right? We are a little bit overextended. I would like if we could go sideways, or hell, okay, even when the next 4-hourly candle opens up, this band is going to go up to, I don't know, 730, 750. I would love if we could gap above the 720 resistance and just hold above 730 or 725 at least, and just go sideways there for a few hours and let some 4-hourly candles come. Let the moving averages come up. Let the 21-day SMA or 21 SMA on the 4-hourly chart come up to bump us higher, right? We have not got a retracement on that in a while since we got our nice parabolic move, parabolic-ish, right? So once we get that bounce off that, that's an entry point, right? The 4-hourly middle Bollinger Band, right? At the 21 SMA on there. It's going to be a very strong level of support. Talking about the weekly, right? We do we pretty much do have a 3 white soldiers here, right? Technically, it just depends on what you define the 3 white soldiers. If you whatever. This is basically 3 white soldiers, which is basically just 3 candlesticks consecutively, sequentially getting higher, right? In the open to close, open to close. So this one is the smallest, middle, largest, right, as far as the open to close ratio, and then they're all getting more green, right? This is a hammer candle on the weekly. This is an inverse hammer, which is actually not good, but then we had 2 more hammers mostly, kind of, not really, but they're good enough, right? They are bullish. This is bullish, right? 3 out of 4 candles in the last week, 4 weekly closes, right? Out of the last 4 weeks, 3 out of 4 of them are bullish candlestick patterns. So you like to see it. Also, if we zoom out here, the big ass cup and handle pattern that we've been speculating on, and a lot of people have been speculating on this for a while, it looks like they may finally have a little bit of traction, a little bit of evidence to say that they actually might have this right. I mean, a spade is a spade. It looks like the start of a handle. It's looking like it's looking a lot better. But if this were to come to fruition, right? If we look at the peak here, February 19th. If we look at the low, May 14th, right? So basically, give or take 3 months, right? So if we were to go 3 months out from here, if we were to go to the eighth month right here, right? August, right? So August would be the price target for 1569. And that's, that's obviously, so that is when August, that is when we would be hitting the price target of 1569, or at least ish, right? 1450, at least somewhere in that range. If this were a huge cup and handle, right? If it were. Also on the weekly, we are also going to get a golden cross between the 200-day EMA and the 55 on the weekly as well. That's going to be a very important a cross to watch, potential cross, right? Talking about resistance levels to watch after we actually break out, if we were to break out above 725. So 811-ish might be a strong level of resistance, of course, contingent on where the SMA, the 100-day SMA is going to be at, right? It does move every day, of course. But from 725 up to 8, we could be seeing some relatively quick price action movements up there, because there's just nothing else really there. And I think a lot of people are going to be trading it that way, right? When they see a breakout here, they're just gonna trade it. They're gonna buy, and they're gonna ask questions later after they see, they're gonna be seeing that there's no real resistance. That is what I will leave you with. Of course, there's more indicators, and we will go over them in the stream later tonight. It's at 3 o'clock Central Time, right? It's at what time the markets usually close. That's what it's going to be today. Set your reminder for that if you want. With that being said, there are a ton more indicators. I just don't have time to go over all of them right now. Anyways, thank y'all so much. This is not financial advice. I will see y'all in the next one.